I'm here with an old-time childhood friend. We up at the YMCA, and he's gonna tell you a little bit about himself, tell you a few trials and tribulations that he endured, and tell you why we're here today. How you doing, cuzzo?
Good, all right. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain.
That's good.
All right, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and you know, just go with the flow and tell them what you want them to know.
Alright, well, my name is Tecordea Copeland. I'm 30 years old, and I done been through a lot. Like, I mean, a decade ago, it was like it's a reality check. What I went through really changed me, and it was all because of just hanging around with somebody. It's just something they did. I paid the price for it by, you know, relationship type stuff and getting conversation with the wife and some cheating on type, I don't know, but yeah, I had to pay for it. But it was a reality check, man. I was in a coma for 12 days. I had a 98% chance of not making it.
So hold up, before you continue, you said you was hanging with somebody,
yes,
and they got caught up in a cheating situation.
Yes, basically, they got caught up in a cheating situation, and his wife/baby mother confronted him. They got physical with each other. Well, he got physical with her, and 2 days later, I happened to be with him. I never knew this. I got all my clothes in the car, everything, because I'm supposed to be getting me an apartment June 1st. This happened May 27, 2007. So I had everything in the car with me, and I don't know, it's weird because I didn't really think about it until like last year. She must have thought I was the other girl who he was cheating on her with.
So you in the car with him and she pulls down on y'all?
Yes, and she chases us, and I tell him to stop talking to her, he wouldn't do it. So when we going west over northeast, and he hit the corner going 75, she hit the back of us going 85. And the car hit the cars that was parked and flipped 6 times. It might sound weird, but luckily I didn't have my seatbelt on. So if I had my seatbelt on, I would be deceased right now.
And it makes sense, because if you would have had your seatbelt on, you probably would have been stuck in between all that metal.
Yes.
You said the car flipped 6 times.
Flipped 6 times, and the passenger side of it got crushed because he was going west. And when he took that left turn, she hit the back of us in the car. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, well that makes sense. So was you thrown from the vehicle then?
Yes, I was thrown. Luckily, I didn't have my seatbelt on because I was injected from the out the passenger window, wrapped around the tree, and basically, I was in a coma. And he told me that he had to kick out of his driver's window, come over there, and basically grab me like, "Hey, get up, get up, get up." When he turned me over, he fainted. I was that messed up.
Wow.
Yeah, he fainted, and when the police came, the police asked his wife/baby mama what happened, this and that, and she started fibbing. She lied and said that her husband chased her down and crashed to her. So he ended up getting incarcerated for 2 days.
Okay. Now, how long was you in a coma, you said?
I was in a coma for 12 days, and I had a 98% chance of not surviving.
98% chance of not surviving.
And then when I came out of my coma in 12 days, you know, they give you a CT scan, which is a CAT scan, but it's really called CT, and an MRI. And they told my mom, they diagnosed me, they told my mom, yeah, ma'am, he's alive, but he will be 85% paralyzed. So they said that the only thing I'll be able to move was my arms. I'll be watching the rest of my life.
And how old was you when this happened?
I was 28.
28 years old. Well, let's rewind a little bit.
Yes.
And even though that within itself is a dramatic change of life, but let's tell the people a little bit like when I knew you from when we was kids and how that really did change your life, because we used to go to the Boys and Girls Club over South Minneapolis all the time.
Yes.
We was hooping all the time. We was riding on bikes over south to Richfield, Bloomington, almost on a daily basis. You know, we got involved with the street life, and you know, we did some running around in the streets as far as hustling and stuff. So I say that to say, You was always an active cat.
Yes, I was very active. I had the abilities, you know, I thought I was grown when I was young, just with the agileness and all that stuff. But it actually, what happened to me, it might sound crazy, but I'm glad it happened to me because it woke me up. You know, it gave me, my third eye is wide open now. It gave me a reality check to where, you know, I get to talking to the younger individuals, they be arguing and stuff, and I get talking to them, and they ask me, oh, who's me, sir? You a preacher? And I be like, no, I'm not a preacher. And I don't tell them exactly what happened to me because people could take advantage when they find out my disabilities. So I just subliminally just let them know, man, this for the future, you can't be like that. There's two sides to every story, and people don't realize you reap what you sow. So what you do is gonna come back on you regardless. And I mean, it's two sides to every story. So I mean, if you do bad, something worse will happen to you. You do good, something better will happen to you.
Now, are you saying that reference from the fact that, like I said, like us being in the street life, running around with gangs and stuff of that nature, are you referencing from that? Is there things that you feel like you probably did in your lifetime that not necessarily deserved what happened, but like you said, what goes around comes around?
No, because I didn't really do nothing like that. I just feel that me being with somebody and I paid for what they went through. And actually, I mean, I had the same thing happen to me in 1992 that I was with a friend of mine and he got shot and he was paralyzed for 2 years. Then he had died.
Oh, you talking about little Larry?
Yes, Larry Herring. Then when he died, I just lost it. I quit caring. So basically, my situation was just like his, but it happened to him.
When you was with him? And
I was with him.
So how long did Larry live after he got shot?
2 years, well, almost 2 years, and he died. I resurrected him, got a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I learned to school.
So without giving out names or anything of that nature, can you touch on how that incident happened?
It basically happened over jealousy. It was some guys that lived it 4 blocks down. It was just jealous over, and we hang around with some girls, and we was on our way back from the Mall of America, because the Mall of America got built in 1989, but it took him to the year 1992 to finish it. And this was in 1992. We come back from the mall, from getting shoes and jackets and stuff. We call them and tell them that we forgot to bring y'all something, but y'all fixing something to eat. We're gonna pay y'all when we get there. The dudes is in the house with them. So they tell them, y'all gotta go, they about to come. So then what they do is, they leave, they go home. And they, you know, it was all jealousy and envy, man. It was just...
So what, they left, y'all came?
Yes,
And what happened then?
They left, we came, well, we was on our way to where we was going, to where the house we was going, and they saw us, and they got to, you know, shooting at us and all type of stuff, and we ran, and we get to, right on the block we was going to, we at the corner, we was gonna go straight, and Larry got the one to go to the right, and I told him, I said, come on, Larry, come on now. He know I'm gonna go this way, so I'm like, come on, Larry. I didn't want to sit there and argue with him over what just happened, because who knows who's coming, and it was unexpected. We didn't know who it was. So I didn't sit there and argue with him, and me and 2 other friends, we go down the block, we come through the yard, we come to the back of the house, we get on the porch. I'm knocking on the door, next thing you know, we hear boom, 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 boom. And I'm just startled, we all startled. Come to find out, one of my friends that was with me went down the block, got Larry, and came back with him on the shoulder. We was just all shocked, crying. We was young teenagers, and I basically gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
So do you really? So did it come out later? That's what it was about. That these cats was over the girl's house and they was jealous.
Yes. At the time, we didn't know nothing about it. It didn't come out that was jealous, but we knew it.
Right.
Why else would they do something like that?
Did they get caught for that?
Yes. Actually, one guy got caught because he got caught 2 weeks later, but in them 2 weeks, he killed 2 people.
Did he?
Yeah, so he go to jail for killing 2 people. So then he had the charge from when Larry got shot. Larry, he had the memory. He didn't shoot Larry in the head and then shot him in the neck. And Larry told him what happened. So he was in jail for that till murder. Then when Larry died 2 years later, that was 3 strikes.
Oh, they ended up charging him with the murder.
They ended up charging him with the murder, but you know, it's so tripped out, just like the subject we getting on, you reap what you sow. just like this, the guy shot Larry in the neck and Larry was paralyzed. Then he died. The guy gets into a confrontation with a guy up in jail on the second floor. And they get the fight, and the guy buddies come and throw him over the rail, and he's in jail for life, paralyzed.
Oh, he ended up getting paralyzed.
Yeah, he's paralyzed in jail for life.
Wow.
Reap what you sow.
Okay. So then, you know, so fast forward to your situation. You with somebody, they girl ride down on y'all. He gets into a high-speed chase with her. She hits the car. Y'all flip 6 times. You only had an 80% chance of living.
I don't know.
You had a 2% chance of living. Right, 2% chance of living. Now, of course, you know, this, like I said, this is a big turnaround in your life.
Yes.
What was the point where you was able to realize what was going on? Like, when was you able to wrap your mind around what was going on? Because you was in a coma for 12 days, right?
Yeah, and actually, it was, my traumatic brain injury was so bad, I never realized while I was in the hospital what happened to me or nothing. The guy I was with, he came to the hospital. He told me. And when he came, I didn't even know. I thought it was a dream because I was asleep. I wake up, his brother's in front of me. He's, yeah, that's good, you up there. And he's on the side of me. I don't know, I don't see him. He get to hugging me, and I get to wrestle him. I'm thinking it was a dream, a nightmare or something. So then he get to tell, he asked me like, so what they say about what happened to you? I'm like, and it just dawned on me like, you know what? I don't know what happened to why I'm up in here. He like, is you serious? I'm like, yeah.
You ain't have a clue.
I didn't have a clue. It never came to my mind, why is you up in this hospital like this? And I was in that first room, the room with the most emergencies. I was in that room.
Wow.
To where the point when I needed anything, I used the bathroom, anything, I hit a button and they come in there and take it.
So, did you eventually, did your memory start coming back eventually, or you just, to this day, just go with the story of, you know, what happened from the newspapers and blah, blah, blah?
Well, basically, I don't remember nothing about what happened, but my mind came back a lot. I mean, since 2 years ago, where I got like a short-term memory, but it got a lot better now. It might seem, people don't understand how important your memory is. I mean, because I could be downstairs in my room and go upstairs and I think, I'm gonna get something to drink, something to eat. I used to get upstairs and say, what I come up here for? And totally forget it.
And what year was this?
This happened May 27, 2007.
2007?
Yes.
Okay, so 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a decade.
Now, they told you initially out the gate that, first of all, you wasn't supposed to be here, you wasn't supposed to survive. And then they tell you that you wasn't supposed to walk?
Yes, I'm supposed to be 85% paralyzed, but I don't use my arms. And it was just like, I didn't know this from jump. And this is tripped out because I remember I'm at another rehabilitation facility, and it's like my mind, I had to use the bathroom. So I got up. When I got up, I fell. Boom! I was laying on the ground. I didn't know what was going on.
And this was how long after the situation?
This was probably after I came out the coma, probably 2 months later.
And you was in a rehabilitation facility?
I was in St. Paul and Bethesda. What's tripped out about that, Bethesda, when my friend Larry Hearing was paralyzed, that's what clinic he was in, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it is so tripped out to me. I don't know, I'm like everything happened for a reason. I'm a number type person. Like, it happened to me when I was 28 years old. My birthday's October 18th. 10 months, 18 days. You add them up together, what number you get? 28.
28, yeah. So you said that happened on the 28th?
No, it didn't happen until I was on the 27th.
The 27th, okay.
But I was 28 years old.
28 years old, okay, right. And then, so, how long did it take before you could even start walking? How long did that take you? Because they say you only had what kind of chance to walk again?
I didn't have no chance to walk. They didn't say I could walk. They said I'm gonna be 85% paralyzed.
Okay, and how long did it take before you start using all your limbs?
I say about a year, but I couldn't walk on my own. I had a walker with wheels on it where I could walk and roll. And then they gave me canes and stuff like that, and so it was a job, man. And the doctor, he told me from jump. He said 75% of your age is gone. So I was 28, so 75% take away that. My mind was like I was 7, because if you get 7 times 4 equals 28. But if you take 3 away from there, you got 28. What you got? 21, 14. So you only got 7 left. My mind mentally was literally like that, man.
Yeah. And you said it took 2 years to start walking and using all your limbs, I should say.
Using all my limbs, yeah, I say 2 years, 2.5 years.
That's a testimony. All this is a testimony. You survived. You only had a 2% chance of surviving.
Yes.
You wasn't supposed to. You were supposed to be 85% paralyzed. Yes. Right now, to this day, you're using both arms, both feet, both legs.
No cane, no walking, no nothing.
That's a blessing.
It's a blessing. I mean, and that's what happened to me. I don't take it as, I never be able to run, and then like, no, I don't go like that. Just because they diagnosed me and said he'd never be able to walk again. He's gonna be 85% paralyzed. So I look at it as basically, usually, that's how a person I go through with something I did with a traumatic brain injury, all the injuries I got, they go through. But they just telling you that's because that's what you gotta look for. So they don't want you to believe, oh, you're gonna be walking, then you don't never walk. That's depressing. So they'll tell you the bad part about it.
Right.
But I remember when they called me back up there, my mom took me up there to the #1 trauma hospital in the continent, in the County Medical Center. And they basically, when I'm up there, doctors kept coming in the room and smiling right stuff down, and I'm looking, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. You know, I got thinking crazy. Like, I asked my mom, like, Mom, do I got a warrant or something? And my mom told me, no, son, your appointment was for you to come up here so they could see you. Your history, you ain't supposed to be walking or nothing.
She said you made history because you weren't supposed to be walking?
And I'm just shocked. And this is the #1 trauma hospital in the continent, in the County Medical Center. I just feel blessed, man, that everything happened for a reason, because I was staying in Georgia down south. I was down there modeling for a clothing line. And I was just thinking, man, what if this would have happened down south?
Right.
That would have been the worst, man.
Now, did any charges ever come of the lady that caused this?
Well, to be honest, they both would have got charged if I'd have went to court, because they sent me letters telling me I can get, the value of all my clothes, jewelry, everything I had. I just got to write down the number and they'd give it back to me. But I didn't even go to court.
Okay.
I just feel like I got real, on that level of biblical on God and stuff, and I just feel like let God take care of it, man. I don't.
Hey, that's real, man. A lot of people could have did that,
Yeah.
But hey, it's a higher purpose. It's a higher being. We gotta let that take course.
Yeah, if I would have went to court, this happened 10 years ago. They'd still be in jail right now because they've been in jail for murder. I got resurrected. Just like I was sort of confused at first because the nurses at the doctor's office going to kept asking me, do you got life insurance? You got life insurance? I'm like, I don't know. I asked my mom. But they never asked my mom. And that was because I was resurrected twice. So if I had $100,000 life insurance, I would have got $200,000.
Oh man.
Yes, but it's something like, I'm like, oh man, I wish it would have never happened. And it was so bad, man. When I went through the trial and tribulation, I don't wish what I went through happened to nobody. Period.
Right. That's real.
This is the worstest, man. It was the worstest. Because now I'm satisfied. I'm glad what I went through because it slowed me down. It gave me a reality check. It opened up my third eye. I'm wide open now.
And you was telling me off camera that you came up with your own genre of music because of this situation.
Yes, I came up. I wasn't gonna go gospel, but that would put it in the category of being Christian. So I came up with my own style because I was thinking metaphorically, our Father God granted me another chance of life. So I thought about it. I said, oh, that's my new style of music. Granted. So
Granted.
what it is it's just positive, no cuss words, no bad language. It's just metaphors and especially metaphors and IQ. So just put your quality of intelligence into it.
And how long have you been doing music, period?
I've been doing bright music for like 21 years.
21 years?
Yes, since I was 17.
And what kind of style was that before this?
I was a hip-hop artist. I'm well known too. I'm a hip-hop artist named Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit?
Bon Appetit.
That was your hip-hop name?
Yeah, that was my hip-hop name. But after what I went through, man, I said, man, I had to change my life completely, man. That's rehabilitation. If I wouldn't have changed my life completely, I wouldn't be doing as good as I am right now. I wouldn't be so focused on rehabilitation. And I tell people all the time, I got the best job in the world. They're like, what type of work job you do? I tell them rehabilitation. They be looking like, huh? I be like, boy, you just don't know. You got to be 100%. You got to be focused and stable up on that.
And your new style is called Granted.
Yeah, it's called Granted.
So are you planning on like putting music out there? Have you put music out there already with the new style or?
I ain't been to the studio ever since 3 days before what happened to me, since the 24th of May of 2007. But I write a lot of music. I mean, I got like 206 songs written down. I always put verses on display on Facebook. I always do it.
Okay, you just put verses on the book, just
Yeah.
like a daily thing, or
It's
just
a daily thing, but really it's just practice. I don't consider it as it's practice, and basically it's like people don't realize it's copywritten too, because when you type something on Facebook, it's on there.
yeah.
So that's like being copywritten. So like, but I'm the type of I heard somebody music and I said, "Ooh, that sounds good," and found out it was something that I wrote. I wouldn't get mad.
So the music now, it has a lot of inspiration
Yes.
to it. And so what's your Facebook for people maybe they want to see something every day that gives them some kind of lift?
They can basically just look up Tecordea Copeland, spelled Tecordea, Copeland, Copeland. I mean, because when you see it, you gon' actually on Facebook, there's only 2 Tecordeas.
Okay, spell that one more time because your name is kind of hard.
Tecordea. It's Copeland, Copeland.
Okay, so that's Facebook. Y'all could go to Facebook and see his daily verses, inspirational verses. If you need a lift here and there,
Yes.
need some good spirits. What else would you want to tell the people, man?
Just basically, I just want to inspire people and let people know, man. Think about what you do, man. And think about it's like, and know who you hang around with or who you know, relationship with. Know this person, man, because I mean, ain't nobody perfect, but it's a thing called trust. And it's just relationship stuff. This stuff is serious, man. I went through what I went through because of what somebody else did.
And she didn't even know who was in the car. She just assumed.
You know what? She thought they got in a confrontation because he was cheating on her. So she see him in the car with somebody else. She thought that I was the person who he cheated on her with.
Right. She
Didn't know it was his friend that I've been knowing since I was 12 years old. No, it's
That's
not
deep.
16 years, man. That happened. It's like,
That's a lesson within itself, like you just said.
Yeah.
Man, think before you act. She almost cost you your life. She changed your life for sure,
yeah,
thinking that you somebody that you're not. And even if you was that person, let's just say, she could have killed somebody and went to jail for life
yeah.
over some stuff that she could have just said, okay, you know what? You want to cheat, I ain't messing with you, and let it go.
Yeah.
Moved on with her life.
That's how I should have went. I mean, I wasn't expected. He wasn't expected. And there's some stuff that went on. I don't know, because I wasn't there when they got in their physical confrontation. I don't know. So, it's 2 sides to every story. He's telling me one side. I don't hear his story. Like I said, this is my friend. She's not my friend. I'm cool with her, but I'm not the mediator to go ask him, then ask her, then get them together. And no, it's not about that.
Right.
That's his wife, his girlfriend, and
Well, it's definitely a blessing that you survived what you survived.
yes.
The whole.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man, the whole thing's a blessing. I was just gonna repeat what I said. because, you know, life is short. We both got friends that we know mutually, and plus we got friends that we know separately that ain't here no more.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it's a bunch of people we can name from the South Side when we was 12, 13 years old that's not here no longer.
man, it's sad, man. And not only that, I grew up in the community in 1995 when they named Minneapolis to Murderopolis. We have more murders than any state in this whole North American continent.
Yeah.
Minnesota, they named it Murderopolis on the news. Not Minneapolis, Murderopolis.
Murderopolis, the percentage-wise anyway, we had by percentage, yeah.
More percentage people getting killed, and I grew up in that community, the Phillips community. And it's just so much stuff, man. It's just like, I saw some things and I heard some things of what happened, and it just gave me a reality check to realize, man, I learned from it. So I ain't never been through nothing like that myself, and I know not to do nothing like that because I don't get down like that. I've never been like that.
All right, well, I appreciate the time, man, and it's definitely a testimony, man. Thank you for sharing your story, and I hope that, you know, people can take something from this. Think before you act. Thank God every day for living, because today ain't promised, tomorrow ain't promised for sure.
It's like, just how there's so much stuff that's going on out here in the world, man. I don't do nothing but work, type music, work out, spoil my daughters, and watch the news. There's so much stuff going on in the news, I'll be like, man, I'll be so shocked and appalled, like, can't believe this stuff is going on, man. I'm like, this stuff is old, man. We gotta wake up, man. And like, I don't, if I know somebody do something bad, I don't get mad or say, take this to this. I don't do that, man. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And there's two sides of every story. Literally, you can be a male, a female. I don't care what race you is. You're either darker or lighter, young or old, good or bad. It's two sides to every story. So it's like, I think about things a lot, man. When people do things and I see things on the news and then hear about this, I say, okay. It's not surprising. Not surprising to me now, man. It was reality check. I guess I can't say, man, when you go through a situation where you lose your life and you go through a trial and tribulation like that, wisdom.
No doubt.
Woke me up. Woke me up.
All right, brother. Well, we're gonna sign off, man. This is Nappy Nation. Thank you for your story. I very much appreciate it.
Anytime.